All right, Noon, I'm going to make this clear and simple so that way you can understand. Why the fuck are you still commenting on my channel, although you're blocked? Okay? You know, judging from that last video you made, which is another stupid video talking about the top 10 racist channels, which happen to be all black, although you have excluded the white channels who could be black, who are racist. You were drinking in that video. And obviously, it proves my point that you're an alcoholic. All right. Number two, you really have a psychological problem with young black males, particularly those who are knowledgeable in boxing. What is your problem? Why do you continue to harass people like me, Dante, and Dream Chasing Boxing, for example? Why do you constantly do this, man? What is your fucking problem? I mean, Jesus Christ, this is rather a sickening and disturbing behavior of you. You really need to get help. I mean, you're 50 years old and you're acting this way. This is very disturbing. Honestly, man, this is no joking around. You need to get help, okay? But just since you see fit to come over to my channel and comment on my latest video about the Manny Pacquiao and Terrence Crawford hypocrisy, then let me go ahead and address these comments right here, all right? Out of good faith. You said here, quote, I think the point people were making is why shit on Manny for asking 20 million, but give Terrence Crawford a pass for asking 7 million. Well, first things first, Terrence Crawford never asked for $7 million. That was the latest news that came out if you actually kept up. Of course, you're going to keep repeating that lie just to suit your narrative, like you always do. Number two, Bob Arum actually confirmed that to be accurate because Bob Arum even said that, look, I never reached out to Terrence or his team to even discuss a purse amount that they were looking for a Pacquiao fight. All right. However, Pacquiao is asking for 20 million on behalf of Michael Kantz, his legal advisor, or his top legal advisor. Okay. Now, the reason why people are questioning that is that Manny Pacquiao underperformed in his last two pay-per-view buys. Okay, he had only 440,000 against Tim Bradley. I think it was 460,000, roughly around there. Between 440 or 460,000 buys against Tim Bradley, which I had no problem with him fighting. Number two, he underperformed even much lower buys when he fought Jesse Vargas. Why? Because Jesse Vargas was an unknown and nobody knew him. Okay? So in his last fight with Jesse Vargas, he got $4 million while Jesse Vargas got $2.8 million. Okay, and the reason why he's asking for 20 million because he knows Terrence Crawford is a big risk and he's a dangerous risk. His team even confirmed that Terrence Crawford is a dangerous fight. So you can see why they're asking for 20 million. But on the other hand, if you look at it from a business perspective, even though I got sidetracked there for a second, looking at that he underperformed in his last two pay-per-views, the numbers does not justify for him to get $20 million. Seriously, I mean, how are you going to make up the cost for that type of purse? Okay, I mean, obviously you're going to have to do a intensive marketing for that, and I know Top Rank probably won't even have the budget to do it. They're going to need a network to do that. And number two, you need to find a very, very big venue to host a fight to even kind of make up if there's any potential loss for the pay-per-view buys. Okay, obviously you need the networks to do that as well because I don't think Bob Rank can shell that type of capital to get a big venue like in Texas Stadium or somewhere around that neighborhood like Alvarez is able to do with Golden Boy. Well, obviously, it's not just Golden Boy. It's that HBO funded that fight, so the Canelo fight. So that's why they're able to get the big venues. So that's one reason you have to look at. Now, it seems to me that you have a problem. You have a double standard here because you have no problem questioning fighters and their business motives when it comes to Al Heyman and PBC. While, on the other hand, when people question Manny Pacquiao and his business motives with Top Rank and whatnot, that's a problem. That's hate. Your favorite word you like to use all the time, hate. All right, so you're clearly not making any sense over there, and you're showing your complete bias when it comes to this situation. And you make another stupid comment by saying that Manny Pacquiao is selling about the same pay-per-view buys as Canelo. No, actually, Canelo is doing a lot better than Manny Pacquiao if you think about it. And he's performing a lot well at the gate than Manny Pacquiao. So that argument is totally shot down. And Canelo Alvarez is not getting 20 million to fight. He's not getting paid well over 20 million to fight Triple G. Where are you getting that number from? Okay, that's only speculation at this point. Yes, that's being talked about, but we don't know the actual number until they actually sign and deliver the fight. Okay. First of all, Terrence Crawford, if you look at it, if you want to talk about Terrence Crawford and Triple G, it seems like here you're trying to compare Triple G and Terrence Crawford in the same equation here. First thing first, Terrence Crawford is much more accomplished than Triple G. Yeah, I know you're going to cite the fucking 17 title defenses and whatnot, but at least Terrence Crawford has beaten linear champions, number one. And number two, Terrence Crawford have fought for his titles and beaten the champions and took their titles. And number three, he's a linear champion in two different weight classes, pound for pound. Golovkin was handed 2 of the 3 titles that he holds right now, hasn't beaten a linear champion, hasn't beaten a pound for pound fighter. He has done neither. And he's not even the linear champion's division. But I can tell you who is. Canelo Alvarez is, but that's besides the point. I'm getting a little sidetracked again here. So you want to say why do you want to act like Manny doesn't deserve $20 million? Again, it's not like we're not saying that he don't deserve it. We're just questioning this from another business perspective. Why are you asking for that amount of dollars, knowing that the pay-per-view landscape does not justify that these days? Unless you're going to host this fight in a big venue to offset the potential loss on the pay-per-view by revenue. Okay? Now you're going to go on to say that Manny Pacquiao just fought 2 top 147-pound fighters. Well, that is true. He fought Bradley. No problem with that. He fought Vargas, even though I really felt that there was more alternatives than Jesse Vargas, okay? Jesse Vargas, you and I both know that Jesse Vargas is the weakest champion at that division at welterweight. What was his greatest win? Saddam Ali, Alakabidiev, who hasn't really not really much significant wins, who got steamrolled by Adrian Broner. Okay, whatever. But leading up to the Vargas fight, we all know that Pacquiao ducked Crawford. He ducked Crawford, no question about it. But he also ducked Keith Thurman, which we all know he did. So let's not sugarcoat it. He ducked Thurman. Okay? And he also ducked Thurman when Thurman was the mandatory challenger for the WBO title when he reclaimed it from Bradley a few years back. We both know that. Okay? So the point is that out of all the people that he beats Bradley. He chooses Vargas instead of Thurman and all the other, or Sean Porter or the Earl Spences, whatnot. Okay? But he chooses Jesse Vargas. Okay? Then you beat Vargas. Now the window's open. The fact is Manny Pacquiao is the lineal champion, for God's sakes, okay? He also is the other alphabet holder. So why aren't you trying to unify with the other champions? That's why people are questioning this, and this is the reason why people are upset with him right now. People want to see a unified, undisputed champion, okay? It's a shame that the sport is corrupted with all these belts being scattered around with all these other champions who refuses to fight each other or pricing themselves out to prevent unification. So this is the problem here, okay? Yes, Terrence Crawford does not fight in the goddamn 147-pound division. We all know it's a one-off fight. But if you're not going to fight Crawford, fine. Fight fucking Thurman. Okay, we all know he's occupied with Danny Garcia, but that's not the point. But fight Earl Spence. Fight Sean Porter. Fight some other top guys. Who's more deserving of a linear title and a alphabet title shot than Jeff fucking Horn, for Christ's sakes. And nothing against Jeff Horn. He's an up-and-coming fighter. He's a prospect. His greatest win on his record is against a goddamn, as I mentioned in my last video, Randall Bailey, who's totally shot. Okay? That's the problem here. Okay? He's taking the Mayweather route, which you don't like. And again, you have this double standard. You criticize Floyd for fighting limited or over the hill opposition, while when Pacquiao does it, it's all good. It's all right. You won't question that, like you've openly admitted that you won't question anything that Gennady Golovkin does. So you're doing the same for Manny Pacquiao. You're biased. You're straight up biased, and you're clearly an idiot. You don't know shit when it comes to the situations like this. Plain and simple. Okay? Then the last question. You also said that, well, how can you say that he's the Kirkland who was KO'd in the last fight? That's not the point. The point is that Manny's fighting a guy who's limited. Jace Kirkland is a limited fighter, and Cotto knows that, so that's the reason why he's fighting him. And the fact that Cotto has a nerve to ask to, catch weight Kirkland is a disgrace. And knowing Kirkland blows up between fights. I'll get to that in another video. The last thing you asked, why is Terrence Crawford fighting Lundy is okay, but Manny fighting Jeff Horn is a problem. It's a free fight in Australia. Well, you made a blunder with that goddamn quote when you mentioned it's a free fight in Australia. Well, before I get to that, let me say this. every fighter's going to fight, limited opposition in between while they, leading up to fighting other champions or other, stellar competition. Okay. After Crawford beat Lundy, you and your others were pressing him to fight Victor Postol. You guys were accusing him of voiding Postol, even though negotiations with him and Postol had stalled a bit. But when the fight got made, you guys were quiet about it. And when he beat Postol, yes, he fought him in a negative way, but he won the fight. He unified. It became the linear champion of the division that he competes in now. You guys are trying to discredit him for that fight against Postol. Ain't that some shit? Okay? At least he's taking on challenges. At least he's taking on prime opposition who are not so limited. Yes, he's far more skilled than they are. Yes, he is taking some limited fighters. I have to retract that a bit. Yes, he's doing that. But at the same time, he's taking on other fighters who are valuable, who are more upper launch. Why is Pacquiao not doing that? Yes, he has a right to fight whoever he wants to fight. That's cool. He's not in his prime days no more. I get that. But the fact is that he is the linear champion. He's the top guy, and all the other top guys want to fight him, and he's excluding them out of the equation is a problem. Just like how you had a problem with Floyd Mayweather doing that, which you probably won't even answer that question. Now, you saying it's a free fight in Australia. It's funny now that you say, why people complain about free fights while you complain about Heyman throwing on free fights on the PBC. You complained about that. So now you're telling people that they shouldn't complain about the fight being free in Australia? First of all, man, you are something else. Yeah, Vargas was a top 10 champion. Okay, so what? I already mentioned that already. That's not the point. The point is that Vargas was very limited. So, again, you're not giving Deontay Wilder a pass for fighting limited opposition. So you should not give Manny Pacquiao a pass for doing the same thing. That's all I got to say. And thank you for listening.